us live, George.
Well, evening, everybody. Hope we're all doing well. Welcome to the Arsenal Women Chat Show. We're going to review the Brighton game because we won a fucking game. Let's go. Just to introduce you to my guests. Paul, how are you, mate? Now I remembered you.
Yeah, all good, buddy, all good.
You turned into Laura earlier. I think that's my mistake.
Yeah, we look alike.
You do to me. So to be honest, you don't sound alike. So that's fine. It's James, how you doing, mate?
I'm all good, mate. I'm awake after yesterday's game, so we've managed to make it in for the night.
Yes, it's that. You just take it day by day at the moment. So it's like, but yeah, we'll get into the game. Mel, great to have you back. How you doing, mate?
I'm not bad, thank you. It's been a busy couple of weeks. I've not really watched a lot of Arsenal games, but by the sounds of it, I've also not missed a lot. So it is what it is.
Yeah. And Kev, how are you doing?
A lot happier today than I was last week.
Yeah, especially. Didn't you get a parking ticket and all?
I did get a bloody parking ticket. That's the one and only time Stina makes a personal visit to the Tollington. I'm going to stick to parking the other end.
She might have scored that goal that she hit off the bar if she went to the Tolly before, maybe.
Yeah.
If I tell Darren that. And Laura, how are you doing, mate?
I'm all good. I think I'm just a bit surviving after watching two wee boys. It can be a bit of hard work, but they're away now, so I've got the rest of my October week to enjoy.
Yeah, well, Darren and Chris was at Meadow Park last. Oh, not them two. Sorry, I thought you meant to tell me that. So just we're having a bit of a new segment on the show because I meant to say this the other day and I completely forgot. So as everyone knows, is Darren, Mr. Wells, is the president of the Stina fan club. So in my wisdom, because how bored I was last week at Meadow Park, for those who have seen the In-Betweeners, whenever Darren mentions Stina, all we're gonna do is beep 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 beep. So it's gonna be like a radar for Stina. So whenever that happened, there was quite a few of us doing it in the crowd at Meadow Park, and it was quite entertaining. Just want to say hello to everyone in the chat. I think we've got Catherine. Is there anyone else, Laura?
Yeah, there's quite a few in already. We've got Catherine. We've got Darren. Not Darren, sorry, the uglier looking one. Chris. Sorry, Chris. We've got Gian. G's in, so she's real lovely. If anybody's wondering what G's profile picture's about, I would check out Cannon and Jonesy's show and you understand why G's profile picture is that.
I can't even see it, that's how blind I am. I'm like this.
It's Trigger from Only Fools and Horses, but because her second name and it's him in an Arsenal shirt. So.
I'll see G in Lisbon, so I'm looking forward to that.
There you go, back in Lisbon again, G and George. That's only who's in at the moment. So that's
cool. Thank you. So we'll go into the Brighton game. Paul, I'll start with you. So Katie McKay came back in for Taylor Hines. What was your thoughts on that? I want to see if they were the same as mine. I weren't particularly impressed on the concourse.
No, I think Taylor had a relatively good game midweek. I get the need for rotation where we're going for so many trophies this season, as defending the European title that we've got. But I'd have liked to have seen Taylor get a few games in a row just to sort of see how she fits in with the rest of the team properly, rather than just a game here and a game there and a few minutes here and a few minutes there.
Yeah,
it would have been nice to have seen her play.
I thought she played all right against Lyon, to be fair. Like, I wouldn't have put down those two calamity mistakes down to her. So I thought she'd done all right. So I thought she was quite unlucky. Maybe dropped is not the word we're using anymore. Rotation, which means dropped. Or rested, yeah. So I'll come to you, Laura. Obviously, it was a really big game for Van Donselaar, wasn't it? Obviously, because there was a lot of chat going on before, and in my opinion, silly open-ended questions asked to Renee in the press conference that I don't really know how else they were meant to be answered. But yeah, was you happy that she started?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it would have been the right decision to pull Van Domselaar out of that. As Renee had says, there's no point in taking someone out of that situation. It's not going to do the best for her confidence as it is. So let's try and work on it while we keep her in the same position. Of course, me and James touched on it during the watch along that we would moan if it was Manu that would have been put in there, and we probably at that stage would have said Manu's just as bad at that moment in time. And of course, we've not really seen much of Bobby. So yeah, I think it was the right choice to keep Daffy 9 goals on Sunday.
Yeah. Kev, coming to you, obviously carrying on with the chat about Van Donselaar. What was your views on her starting, and how do you think she kind of fared in the first half? I thought she'd done quite well.
Yeah, I mean, she had to carry on. I mean, I said that last week.
Yeah.
You've got to play through it, but I don't know what they've done over the last few days. Well, in the lead up to the game, but something went on with her confidence because she was coming for crosses and punching, and that's something she hasn't been doing. So then I suppose getting to those few crosses just moved her confidence along a little bit more. So, yeah, and she just had an absolute blinder. She was back to her best. So,
yeah, I think she kind of come out and stood up and was counted. Like I think that certain other players that were playing regularly that haven't really done, no names, Ford, McCabe. But yeah, I thought she'd done quite well. Mel, I'll come to you. Obviously, I'm assuming you didn't see much of the game.
I was too busy watching Rangers get run over by Hibs.
Yeah, so, but kind of on the general point of view, because obviously you're probably more experienced in playing football than quite a few of us. So, where do you think obviously we look like such a confident team at the minute? Do you think does that come from the group of players that have been there, or does that lead from the manager and the coaching staff?
I think it can come from both. Obviously, with my squad and my personal opinion, we had a manager change at the start of this season, and it really rocked the boat for us because the manager we've had beforehand, we had him since we started as a club, and to lose him after getting promoted and a new league and everything, it really rocked the boat, especially because we had a target on our back to win undefeated, go up a league, this, that, whatever. First team to do it in only 2 years of their existence. But our new coach came in, he sort of rallied the troops, and even the players, we had a few new girls come in, we got them on board and we rallied them in and got the confidence up again. So it could be from either, but I don't know if it's the whole Champions of Europe target on the back thing that we're putting pressure on ourselves at the minute that makes it look like something's not clicking as well as it would. I also don't know if people are looking at us through a different set of glasses this season compared to last. Obviously, we had some games that could have gone either way last season. We had some games we lost, we should have won. So I think having now got the title of Champions of Europe, I don't know if people are just scrutinising us that wee bit more compared to what they did last year.
Yeah.
But yeah, someone's not clicking, but it's going to click eventually. It's not been that long, but it's all going to come to plan soon.
Yeah. I think the problem with it, Mel, is that unfortunately, when the way the WSL is, even like a couple of dodgy results kind of really put you a good 4 or 5 steps behind, because Chelsea just don't seem to lose. I think if Chelsea, if you saw Chelsea losing a couple of games or dropping points, like you would like. I just don't think it's right that you go into an Aston Villa home game in September-ish time, end of September, October time, drop points, and then there's talk that the title race is over. But that's not actually that extreme, really, is it?
Yeah.
Because you can't really see Chelsea dropping points like what we are.
It's like Catherine just said in the comments that no team that has lost 3 or more games has won the league. I think that just speaks of the level that Chelsea's at, and the level that a lot of other clubs are getting to as well. Obviously, Man City and Man United have both made some big signings, and they're fairly pushing on in the last couple of seasons.
Yeah.
I think that people have just sort of come to accept the level of Arsenal. Like, we do need to hold them accountable, and we need to be winning some of the games that we're not winning. But again, it could be this season we finished second, third, whatever, and then next season it could be a couple more changes in the summer. Could probably see some of the older players as outgoings, like we did with Wally this year, and then that could be the trigger to then we're then on the same level as Chelsea.
Yeah, I agree. James, coming to you. Obviously, we saw this against Aston Villa. I thought we started quite good. Obviously, we got the goal, the Olivia Smith kind of assist to the own goal. It was kind of what we've wanted to see Olivia Smith doing, isn't it? Kind of running in the box, causing problems.
I mean, watching the game against Brighton, the first sort of, as you say, the sort of, maybe even been generous in saying the first half, we looked a lot more like that team, especially in the first 10 minutes. We looked like that team that was hungry. We were even the ball would go for a shy, we're chasing the ball down the tunnel, trying to get that back in the park as quick as possible. And you're going, right, something's changing the attitude, we're going for it here. And then it just went flat. And somebody did say that later on in the game through one of the social media sites. Oh, what's happening with the crowd? I mean, the crowd's not getting behind the team. Hey, I'm done. I've had more entertainment watching paint dry. There's nothing there to get a fan excited. It was as if, as you say, we get the goal. The same as the Aston Villa game, we get the goal, and then it was, that's it, we've got the goal. Don't need to worry anymore. And the more and more the game went on, they weren't happy ended up getting player of the match. Because if it wasn't for us, we'd have been battered for easy 4 or 5. And that's against a very weakened Brighton side. I'd be worried if that was a Chelsea or going into Europe, even like yourselves got to Lisbon in a few days' time. Play like that, and I'm very concerned.
Could it be, I'm just playing devil's advocate here, could it be that they just wanted to try and get through a game, get a victory, so they didn't care how they won it? Because I don't think the confidence has been that great, and we'll come on to that in a little while. But could it have just been, let's just take the 1-0. We didn't do that against Villa, because let's be honest, if we'd done that against Villa, got the 1-0, got the Brighton 1-0, but only lost to Lyon, I don't think there would be as much of a public trial about it.
I get this. You're absolutely right. Of course, it was another one of the same comments again. A win's a win.
Yeah.
Listen, you don't need to win pretty.
No.
You don't need to go and get that 3 points and be pretty. It doesn't need to be a very highly entertaining game.
Yeah.
Do you need to get in behind Chelsea? We keep mentioning Chelsea win out. One thing Chelsea are good at is they get the 1-0, whether it be in the first minute or the 89th minute. But for the rest of that game, shut up. Be defensively solid. Don't let your goalkeeper be the player of the match. And again, it was a good boost for the half. I was one of the ones that wanted to drop her. But at the same time, there's 10 other players in that pitch. Stick a fit in, stick a tackle in, take one for the team, get a bit or something. But there was nothing, there was absolutely no fire to the point. As we said, I think they went up for 13 minutes, added on time. And half the fan base went, we're actually worried. Brighton's gone, this is Aston Villa, until the ref. We actually went mental when the ref blew the final whistle. We were that relieved.
Yeah.
And
No, I
think,
agree. I agree with that.
Yeah.
It's just that, like, for me, like, we won 1-0. So it was kind of a bit of a mixed bag for me. Like, we won 1-0, got the victory, which I desperately think we needed. Like, but for me, that performance still wasn't good enough.
Yeah.
It was. I think I said to Dorian, who was sitting next to him, went, "This is like Villa all over again." He did tell me to shut up, but but that's just how it felt. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's like we got the early goal and we didn't build on from it, and that was more what was frustrating me. All right, fine. Stina had a chance. I think she hit the bar, didn't she, from a McCabe cross? But that it didn't really feel like, it just felt so flat. It was like we was in. It didn't even feel like we was in gear one, and that was what was frustrating me more. Laura, I'll come to you. Where it's the question that everyone's asking? Where do you think it's actually why it's not clicking? Do you think it's as simple as the midfield are just not pulling in the right direction, or do you think it's the back four? What do you think?
Obviously, we're a little unsettled in the back line simply because we lost Leah at the start of the season. Thanks to Lucy Bronze for that horrendous advice that she gives out. That then made Leah think, oh, I can also play in an injury as well, and then that doesn't look good for Arsenal. So I genuinely do think, in terms of Leah Williamson, I've said it the last few games, we don't know what we're missing until it's gone. Mel and James can disagree with me on here, right? But I do genuinely, at this moment in time, think we don't know what we're missing until it's gone, and that's the situation with Leah. Not just in terms of how she defends, but in terms of how she gathers a team. I do genuinely think that Leah is the one that, in terms of Kimmy Little being the captain, she's not as vocal as Leah, so therefore there's no one really in there saying to the girls, listen, you're crap and you really need to pick up. I do genuinely think, in terms of Arsenal, I think we came back into the league too confident after winning the Champions League. I genuinely thought we could come back here, champions of Europe, and stand up and people would be scared of us. And what's genuinely happened is we've come back with the biggest target on our back, and everyone's actually like, do you know what, we're not scared at Arsenal. I was talking to my dad about the game. He was saying he watched it, and now obviously my dad doesn't watch Arsenal games regularly. He just kind of turns them on whenever he's got a moment. My dad was saying it's the midfield. There's something in the midfield just not clicking. They're not getting the ball forward to your forwards or your wingers. There's just something not there. In terms of that, I don't know what we do going forward there. We've tried and tested everyone at this moment in time. I don't know. I'm not a manager. I'm not tactical. Tactically good there in the mind, but Mel could maybe dig up on that one in terms of the midfield and why that isn't clicking. But other people watching in that aren't just straight down the middle Arsenal fan are saying it's a midfield that's failing, and what is it we're doing that we need to fix it.
Sorry, I was just trying to catch up with the messages. I think with me, what the issue is, I find is I know I've been probably a big critic of Katie McCabe this year, but one, I don't think she's actually played that well. I'll come to you, Kev, quickly. Don't think she's played that well, but I don't think Katie McCabe and Caitlin Ford on the pitch at the same time work.
No. But I think there's a few others that haven't quite been at the races this season. But yeah, I definitely think Taylor should have started again. But yeah, it is the midfield that we're missing the spark.
Yeah.
And whether that's going to be Kyra providing the spark, because when she came on,
Yeah, she was brilliant, I thought.
she looked good.
Yeah.
But again, it comes back to this: do we need Mariona to be playing in the 10 rather than playing in the deeper role alongside Kim, to give her that free role and just provide the spark in and around the edge of the box? I'm not the manager.
No. We can't start a fire without spark.
The team I managed did not play at anywhere near that level. So, yeah. We did play Fulham in the FA Cup once.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. Mel, I'll come to you. Obviously, we saw. I've said quite a few times I would build a team around. You've got Mariona. Surely she has to play in that 10 role. Why do you think Renee keeps putting her more in that deep line role? Do you think that's because she's trying to protect more the back four, or do you think she's seeing something probably that some of us are not?
The only thing I can think is that she's doing it to try and get Mariona on the ball more. I don't know if she's seen in games where we've played just Kim and then two in front that Mariona's dropping deeper and deeper to try and get the ball to find that outward pass. That's the only thing that I can really think of, is to have her in that position, is to save her dropping deep and then leaving a gap in front of her that you play her deep to start with, and if she goes forward, then superb. She goes forward, you've got an extra person gunning forward in attack. But I think she's wasted in that double pivot. I hate a double pivot.
Yeah.
I'm really not a fan. I think if you keep the formation the way it is, leave Kim at the back by herself. She's not the tallest person. She might not win all the headers, this, that, whatever, but she's creative. She's creative. She's smart. She'll work it a way that she's going to win that ball no matter what. I think having Mariona further up the pitch means that you've got a little bit extra creativity. You've got somebody else who's very much constantly in an attacking mindset. I've never really looked at Mariona and thought, that's a player who thinks about defending. She only thinks about defending when she's causing defenders problems, because you can think, how can I put them on their arse and make a mug of them? And
yeah,
I think that's probably the main thing that I can see that the issue is. I also don't know if we're trying to be too smart with how we're playing, and we've taken away the sort of level of the basics that we seemed to do really, really well last season. Like, if you do the basics right, then like the fancy stuff and all the tricks and trickery comes with it. I think we need to go back to doing the basics, not holding the ball too long. I find sometimes as well there's a clear outward ball and we're playing 1, 2, 3 passes too many, and then your outward ball's gone. So that's the main issues that I can see in the midfield at the minute, from my perspective.
Yeah. So I think there's been a couple moments in games, like obviously when Daphne's kicked the ball out, it's gone, like Mariona's been absolutely crowded out and that's been lost the ball, and I think that's what happened against Lyon. But maybe as a team they need to be looking at not doing that, because surely they can see what players are being crowded out, so you shouldn't really pass them, should you? Like, I don't know. That sounds like common sense to me, but I'm not a footballer. But yeah, so Paul, I'll come to you. Obviously we kind of got the goal, we saw kind of in the end saw it out. But like I think it was like James said, it was like a huge weight was lifted, wasn't it, at the end of the game, like a huge relief.
Yeah, I mean, it did definitely have the same sort of feelings as Aston Villa in those sort of final 10, 15 minutes. And were we going to, throw it all away again on there? But I think the difference with this one was against Villa, Rene made that sub right at the end to try and go for a back five by bringing Lotta on. This time she brought Chloe on at the same sort of time, and I think that just gave that little positive effect of actually we're not just going to sit back and defend this. We're going to try something different, and I think it gave Brighton something different to think about. I think if it was going through their mind of, oh, we're going to go to a back five, so this is what we're going to do, and this is how we're going to break them down.
Yeah,
we didn't do it. So, she looked at that. She looked at it. It didn't work, and I was pleased to see something different in those last few minutes. Okay, we didn't get the second goal, but it was good to just. We almost did a Chelsea, and we saw the game out. It wasn't pretty. It wasn't fantastic football, but after the last few results, I think it's what we desperately needed to just get a win at all costs, type of thing.
Yeah. No. Final point on the game, Laura. Obviously, we saw Kyra come on, and I thought she done really, really well. Do you think this could be a bit of a starting ground for her to be able to be featuring a bit more and maybe getting a couple of starts? Because I thought when she was definitely a lot more improved this time against Brighton than she was when she came on in the previous game.
Yeah, there was a lot more energy from Kyra the minute she came on the pitch. They seemed like the speed in midfield picked up a little bit, and I think that's exactly what we've been screaming for over the last few games. As Luke says, we're far too slow and ponderous in the build-up. And the minute Kyra came on, it just seemed like the ball was moving a whole lot quicker going forward. In terms of Kyra, I don't really know what we want to do with that poor girl. It's quite clear that she's better as a 6, but I think that's the problem that we haven't quite figured out with the midfield is how we utilise these players and their natural positions and how they like to play. In terms of Kyra coming on, I do genuinely think using Kyra could benefit us, especially where we're so slow and so weak going forward, and especially in the midfield. In terms, again, I'm not the manager. I don't see what's going on in training. I don't really know, but I just thought it was a silly statement for Renee to make when obviously Wally was announced that she was leaving, that the shop was there for Kyra. Just not use the poor girl at all. At this stage, I don't really know what to say about Arsenal at the moment.
It's not. We're not. It's like I was saying earlier. We're not. I think we're a very, very confidence-built based team. I don't really think we have got much confidence at the minute, but maybe hopefully with that 1-0 win, that might just give us that little bit of a confidence booster. And if we can get a win against Benfica, and then I think it's international break, isn't it? Then we've got Leicester away, then Chelsea.
Yeah.
So obviously, James, after those games, we've got to be going into those games with. Obviously, we've got the 3 points against Brighton. We need to be beating Benfica, beating Leicester, and going in with some quite high confidence against Chelsea, don't we?
Yeah, we need something needs to happen. As I say, I think at this point, we've tried the positive, we've tried to get a positive, as I say, the positive criticism on shows, on watching lives and stuff. It's terrible. What even the fans are at the ideas. We said it before the Brighton game.
Yeah.
And we said it for the Leon preview before we went and played Leon. Just tell the players, go out and express yourself. And again, it was another game, touch on the Leon game, because it was carbon copy with Brighton. First 10, 15 minutes, fantastic. After that, it was, all right, we got to go. It's as if Arsenal score a goal and it just kills everything. And Whereas we used to see, like I said, games, maybe not so much against Chelsea's and stuff, but against teams like Brighton, it was the goal always gave the team the spark. And it was, we've got one, let's go for 2, 3, 4. They were the games that were going to sort of soften the blow when Chelsea's did beat us.
Yeah.
It's been so right because we're battling Brightons, we're battling Aston Villas, we're battling West Hams. And now it's as if to say it, we sat, obviously Laura went on watch along. As I took and said in the comments, and quite a few others said the same. If we are not careful, by the end of the Brighton game, depending on results, we could have been staring a relegation battle in the face. We are European champions. We're pushing 6 games in, 6, 7 games in, and we're talking about a relegation battle.
Yeah.
That's how bad things have got now. And I think the last season, I don't know where it, which as obviously what Mel was saying, we're talking about confidence. I think something needs to give the manager confidence as well. Genuinely, not just the players. I don't think the managers get the confidence. It's as if they've got this ultimate high installed. All of a sudden, it's, well, can I take you any further? So what do I do now? I've won the ultimate trophy. And there needs to be something, not necessarily a crash back down to earth, but something to bring that middle back where it goes, right, we're going to have the confidence, we're going to start trusting players, as in your Jennas and all the rest of it, to come in, Kyra Cooney Crosses, to come in and start playing football, but there's nothing. There's genuine, and even the commentary team picked up on it at the end. It was almost as if cliques of our players were arguing with each other. The same kind of way it was when Jonas left. That was the way that looked after the game. That same kind of bickering between certain players within the team. And I don't know if something's happened backstage, but there's just no good. There's an all right feeling, but there's something in the background that's itching away as if this is all going to come crumbling in.
Evening, Ryan, as well. I think what it is for me, I think someone I spoke to the other day, I said it on the podcast, is that they said the best and the worst thing we've done was winning the Champions League. Because the best thing, obviously, for the club, we won the Champions League. Chelsea didn't. Yada, yada, yada. But the worst thing is it papered over massively some big, massive cracks that we've got in that team still. I have seen people say about the manager. Personally, she's only been there a year. I don't think you can keep like chopping and changing. That's what Chelsea men do. But there's some of these names have been there under Jonas, and they're under Rene, and they're probably there a little bit before. So I just think ideally I think we should have really probably been seeing the summer that's just gone, maybe the transition starting there. That's why I don't think it'll happen next summer, because you can't get rid of, say, 6 or 7 players and then replace all of them in one summer. I just don't think that happens realistically. But something that you did say, James, are you still putting Leah Williamson on the bench when she's back?
I think somebody asked that.
I'm winding you up.
Not exactly the same question. Somebody did ask that the other day on Facebook fan forum.
Yeah.
When Leah comes back, who do you drop? Katie Reid or Steph Catley? And personally, I think to drop any of the three of them. I did say the suggestion dropping, not so much dropping, but giving Cammy Little the desperate rest that she needs. In the sense of moving Catley into Cammy Little's position and playing Katie Reid and Leah Williamson, who have already played together, to allow Catley, because Catley seems to be one, she's wanting to kind of run forward, but as if she doesn't trust herself to get back.
Problem I have with that, though, is Steph Catley can't even kick the ball further now. So, like, do you know what I mean? Like, this is what is annoying me. Like, I know we're missing Leah Williamson, but last time I checked, Leah Williamson wasn't the only one who knew how to kick a ball far. Like, I'm sure I've seen Steph Catley do it. I'm sure I've seen Katie McCabe do it. Taylor Hines has done it. I don't know. I don't know what. It's like they think Leah Williamson's is injured, and that's like, oh no, it's Leah's fault. That's it. I just can't get my head around it.
In terms of us losing Wally, and now this is just my thinking. I think personally we didn't bring anyone in to cover for Wally simply because
we didn't replace her, did we?
No, we didn't replace her at all. No. I simply think we thought that we would have had a fit Leah coming back from the Euros and we could have utilised Leah in that position. And having Katie Reid and obviously Steph Catley as our centre-back pairing going forward, and then obviously Leah slotting into the defensive midfielder role when needed. And then, of course, Leah's come back injured, and that plan all of a sudden went out the window, of course.
Yeah. So yeah, but we could talk about this for absolute hours about the state what I think the squad is in, because we done it in Lyon, and when we said that we went and won the Champions League, so we'll carry on.
It just seems to be a start of the season thing for Arsenal that we don't ever click back into Arsenal mode straight after something big has happened in the summer. So
that's why I don't think you can just why people can't just blame Renee. Like, when people say about her future and all that, let's just like kind of have some education about it and look into it instead of like throwing out your YouTube clickbait words. Like, like the word, it can't just be her. I just think the players don't take no responsibility. Like the same players, like a few players that I've named. Like, just off the top of my head, the players that I think are in that is McCabe. I think Catley's in that now. I think Ford's in that. Frida, Stina, Caitlin Ford. Like, you know what I mean? Like, on their day, they can beat anyone, but consistently, they can't put performances in most weeks.
Yeah.
And I think that's where we struggle.
I do agree, George, with what you're saying. Obviously, as you say, we all seen the comments, and Laura even went nuts live. The whole get Renee it. But the thing I kind of said to most people that have said that, personally, no, you don't get the manager it straight. As you say, she's not even had a full season if you count her 2 off seasons together.
Yeah.
But we've all been in football long enough. We all know results don't go, positions don't go in the league.
Yeah.
The buck stops with the manager.
Yeah, of course. No,
everybody's going to go for.
Yeah.
She had her summer. She had a chance to bring in her players. She brought in Taylor Hines. She brought in Olivia Smith. Again, the women's, it's different to the guys. You can't necessarily, as you say, go and buy 6, 7, 8 players at a time. But at the end of the day, the manager is the one that's kind of got to be the go-between, and it's always going to be the first. It's always going to be the first to get the bullet.
I don't know. After Christmas period, we could have Russell Martin if he keeps continuing to do it.
No, things are bad enough as it is. No thanks. Like, I don't know. What I mean is that I don't. It's so easy. Like, I've seen it on Facebook groups. I think James were in the same one. When all I see is, oh, Renee needs to go. Well, tell me why. Like, and who you're bringing in to replace. Like, no offense, I'm putting it out there. Unless you're bringing Emma Hayes in from America, then not Catherine. I mean, like the actual Emma Hayes. I don't know. I think Arsenal need a transition period and a transition with that squad, and we've needed it probably for about 18 months to 2 years. Because if you go back to however long we've done these shows, and even when I first started with Mel, like, we've had this same conversation. Like, we don't need to actually do live shows. We could just record and put out the same show from this time probably last year, because it is about the same sort of players. But on the positive, I did think Kyra done really well, but I don't know. I think she probably, if we want to see the best of some of these players, maybe they need to be playing a few games consecutively, and it reminds me with Rene this season. Reminds me of what Mikel Arteta done last season. Basically, playing some of these players that are probably not good enough, and looking at the board saying, "I need a squad to be able to compete." So, I don't know. Maybe I'm not. Maybe the same will happen. I'm not sure, but we'll look forward to. We'll go into the Benfica game. Kev, I'll come to you first. At the end of the day, all we need is we probably just need a good performance, get the 3 points, because I think some of the other results kind of helped us, didn't they? Like obviously Bayern Munich got battered, Chelsea drew, I think. So if we can get if we can get 3 points, we're probably expecting Lyon and Barca to be the top two anyway, aren't we?
Without a doubt.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is a case of like Sunday, we need 3 points. And I personally don't care how we get them, as long as we get them, because you can't lose your first two. You're really in trouble then. So yeah, we do need 3 points tomorrow, Thursday, and I personally don't care how we get them. If we scrape a 1-0, an ugly 1-0, I'll take it.
Yeah. It's a win to win, but we do need to start putting some good performances in as well, don't we, Mel? Because like, how long do you take that? Oh, a win's a win. You can't do that for the next 4 or 5 games, can you? I suppose.
Yeah, there's always some games that you can go into, especially against your teams like Chelsea and Barcelona and stuff like that, and go, okay, a win's a win. We'll take that. But there is games where you go in and you need more than just a win's a win. You need to come out of it and think, we've got the win, we've got the 3 points, and we've put on a good fucking show when we've done it. I think that's the key thing that we're missing, sort of confidence wise as well. Is okay, we're getting these wins, and we're sort of in games like Lyon. We were in the game to start with, and then it all sort of went downhill. But I don't think we've really had a result since the Champions League where we've got a game. It might have just been one. We've won the game. It might have just been one goal, whatever. But we've put on a good fucking show and we've done it. And as a player, when you know you've won and you know that every single person on that pitch has played out their skin for 90 minutes, 120 minutes, whatever it has to be, that feels better. I think there's some games where you can go in and you win 1-0, 2-1, you go, holy hell, that was shit. And that can just suck the life right out of a team. So I think we need a win this week, and we need to take pride in what performance we see on the pitch as well.
Yeah, I agree with that with the performances, because I know people will say we beat Lionesses and West Ham earlier in the season by high goal scores, but if you actually think about it, in those games we scored 2 or 3 goals in about 8 or 9 minutes, so it kind of flattered the score for me, especially the Lioness game. But yeah, Paul, what are you expecting, the same lineup as Sunday, or are you expecting the changes again? That could be what's affecting them as well, because we're not having consecutive same lineups, are we?
No, there's a lot of rotation going on in certain areas, the likes of Taylor Hines, Katie McCabe, for example, and in and out. I don't really think works. I think if you can have a player for sort of a few games and then you can rotate that person for another few games with somebody else, but they need to have this little period of stability in the team. But this coming week we're going into international break after the Benfica game, so if we can just get an ugly win this week, have that break, and then come back from it against like Leicester, Chelsea, and those are the sort of games that then we need to have refocused and gone, we are the European champions. We can't be scraping 1-0s and playing the way we are. Have that break and come back fresh for another sort of small segment of games.
Yeah. Laura, also, what's your thoughts with the Benfica game? Are you expecting many changes? Could you see Kelly starting instead of Ford, or do you think they'll keep it as they are?
In terms of Chloe Kelly, I don't really know if she's fully fit, and that's the reason
Yeah.
why we're not starting her. But as I said in previous shows, then I don't want Chloe Kelly on a bench anywhere near the bench if she's not fully fit. I'd rather we have the squad now that we can rest these players for weeks on end that they don't need to be on the bench. But I don't really know. Freedom Anum not done nothing for us. Like we can't. Like we're not really seeing much of Palova or Kyra Cooney Cross to maybe say, oh, we could switch them in. So I do genuinely think to start with Frida as usual, and then of course the wingers we keep seeing to be switching on and off, on and off. One week it's obviously Olivia Smith, the next week it's Beth Mead. In terms of them, they're not really kicking either. So I don't really know what the lineup's going to be in terms of what's going on in Renee's head. That obviously we know Daphne's going to start. You do really want Daphne to keep kicking on and picking up that confidence. You know that your back line's going to be Katie Reid, Steph Catley, Emily Fox, and you definitely know Kate McCabe's going to be in there whether we like it or not.
Yeah.
It's a Champions League game, although obviously Taylor Hines started against Leon, and I genuinely do think maybe Katie McCabe should have been told, listen, your spot's in danger and you really need to start fighting for it. Because again, she was on the pitch on Sunday and there was points where she was just not even half shouldering a player, just touching a player with her shoulder and going like that with her hands, like holding them up as if to say, oh, I've lost her, that's it. But we do know that obviously Katie McCabe will get that start. Kimmy Little, I know, look, I'd quite like to know what Mel's opinion is with that overlook, considering Luke's got a really bad grudge against Kimmy Little at the moment. But
What's the grudge with Kim? What's Kim done?
Played 90 minutes for the last 40 years, I think.
But in terms of Kimmy Little, she's been Arsenal's best players this season, and that's
She's
maybe
playing
why.
like she's in her 20s though. For me, she don't look like she's in her like mid 30s to me. I don't think she's actually done anything wrong. I don't know. Some people seem to have a bit of a chip on their shoulder about her age, Mel. I think, but because she should be in the graveyard or something. I'm assuming. So
I think what someone was said by the commentators, and I want to say it was the Aston Villa game, and it's the first time that I've actually heard commentators blow smoke up Kim Little's arse in a very long time. And they got us spot on in the fact that Kim Little's your kind of player that flies under the radar and folk think she's doing shite, but what she's doing is she's doing the basics very, very well.
yeah.
I mean, you've got somebody like that in the centre of your midfield who's doing the basics very, very well. Let her play till she drops down.
Yeah. In terms of obviously that, I don't think we'll see it. I don't like to see Mariona back in that double pivot. I think it's clear that when we keep saying, oh, let Mariona roam the pitch and let her do what she's doing. No. We keep Mariona in the 10 and anywhere around about that spot of the 10. And that's the only place that Mariona will be allowed to roam. It's quite clear that is where Mariona sits in our squad. In terms of Freedom Anum, I don't really know. There's sparks there, and then it's like, oh, I'm not bothered today. And I really don't know if we could get out to Lisbon with half a team and they maybe playing better in terms of a full 11, then I'll play that way if we have to.
I think like it says it all. Like on Sunday with my headset, it said Kimmy Little has cut a frustrated figure. So if Kimmy Little's getting frustrated with some of the players, then you need to sort yourself out. Like, so yeah, I don't think you can drop or rest. Sorry, Kimmy Little. I think she's been our best player so far this season. Like Mel said, she goes under that radar because she does what she's there to do the best. And I just think you put Mariona. I think you can put Mariona at the 10, but I don't know. Maybe Pullover at 8 on Thursday or whenever Wednesday, Thursdays. I don't know. It's a hard one.
In terms of the whole double pivot, why have we all of a sudden brought that back? Most of it last season we didn't play with it. So why now is it all of a sudden being brought back? I don't understand it.
I think it's because we've done a double pivot kind of against Barcelona and it worked. But that's one game against Barcelona. Do you know what I mean? It's not. I don't.
That's not being funny, but Barcelona's the only team really that you can play a double pivot against and it works because you need to be more defensive in that game.
No, exactly, and that's what I mean. So they think, oh yeah, it worked against them, so we'll keep that. No, that's not how it works. Like we wasn't doing it for a majority of the games that we were unbeaten in. It only kind of changed when we started to do that. So I don't know. I think Rene needs to get back to like. And I think the problem is we don't really have a defensive midfielder at the club now, do we? Because I wouldn't class Kim Little as a defensive like a number 6.
Mm-mm.
But I think she's doing brilliant what she's doing. But she's like you said, Laura, we haven't replaced Volti, whatever way you look at it. Like, and if they think Kyra was the answer to that, then why has she not been playing more? That would be my question mark over that.
Yeah.
Cool. But we'll go around and get your predictions. James, what's yours?
But I just kind of took a quick glance to see what the next fixtures up are in Champions League times. And Kevin's right. I can't believe I'm saying that's 2 games in. That's 6-game Champions League sort of league group stage. But this is a must win. Because our next game after Benfica is Bayern away.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. I genuinely don't. I want to say we'll win, but if we play anything like we've been playing, we'll be in trouble. I'm going to go for. I'm going to pray Daphne's. The Daphne was all yesterday, and I'm going to go for a sneaky 1-0.
We'll take that. 1-0 both times in Lisbon. Yeah. Kev, what are we going for?
I'll take a reasonably well played 2-0.
Cool. Paul?
I'm going to go for a really scrappy 1-0. And
You do know I'm going to this game.
yeah,
I don't need this.
George wants an 8-0.
Yeah, at least make it worthwhile.
no, we'll do 8-0 against Chelsea.
Mate, if that happens, I'll buy the whole of the Tolly shots.
I'm not coming to that game anymore.
No, snooze, you lose, Mel.
We'll post yours up to Elgin Mill.
Super.
Yeah, we'll have to, if the Arsenal Emirates redevelopment happens, like at the Emirates, apparently there's rumours that we might go and start playing at Elgin for some reason. So just to see Mel, that's what it is.
It's like the scheme version of Meadow Park. So
yeah. But the positive thing is we won't have the brass band there, so it'll be all right.
There is a wee boy with a drum. Fair play to Bailey. He does drum his wee heart out, but
yeah, can't be any worse than that brass band at Meadow Park. Jesus. So Mel, what are you going for?
I'm going to go with 2-1.
Cool.
Benfica are going to score first. Everybody's going to be in outcry. Twitter's going to be in meltdown. And then we're just going to score 1, pin them in, get a second in the later halves of the game.
Yeah, I'll be on the pitch if we're 1-0 down at half time. I'll be doing like the Phil Brown team talk at half time.
Sitting them all down in a circle.
Yeah, sit them all down. Laura?
I am going to go for a 2-1 win. Again, I will agree with Mel. It won't be a nice one in terms of Arsenal's poor defence. And saying that though, we must celebrate that we did eventually get a clean sheet, because it's something we haven't been able to keep
Yeah.
coming into the new season. So, yeah, 2-1 for me.
I think it'll be a really stupid goal we'll concede as well. It'll be someone fucking daft. I can feel it. I can feel it in my bones. It's going to be someone really stupid, and we look back at it and go, "What were we up to?" And then we'll run them over, so it'll be fine.
Be Steph Catley pretending she's Virgil van Dijk again. Yeah, so I'll either, if it's 1-0 at half time, I'll either be doing the Phil Brown or I'll be doing like prime Delia Smith. Like just look, instead of the fans, it'll be towards the players.
We need a 12th man here.
Yeah. What am I going to go for?
It's that bad that George doesn't even know what he's going for.
I don't. The problem is, I don't think we'll win.
It was also that bad that when you asked James he scored, Kevin put his fingers in his ears.
I'll go 2-1 just. But I could see it being a draw. But yeah, I'll go 2-1. Just for the I don't know. Just for the memes, it'll probably be Stina scoring the winner or something. So yeah, cool. We'll wrap it up there. Just want to say thank you to my guest. So thank you, Kev. Hope to see you in a couple of weeks.
Yes, I have bought a ticket for the Leicester game. Don't
Right,
know how I'm getting there yet, but
I might not be at Leicester, so I'm not sure. So
I'll definitely be at the Chelsea game.
yeah, mate, I'll be at Chelsea. I'll be probably drinking from 8 o'clock the night before, so get all my ultra gear. I've got to get the balaclava and everything. So
Get your Stoney on.
yeah.
George, you say you're going to use your face painting again this time.
I'm not allowed this time. Fred, Dorian, Michael, them not wanted to kill me after that. Yeah, so yeah, hopefully catch up with you soon. James, thank you. Be good to see you soon as well.
Oh, it was a pleasure, mate. Yeah, our next one's definitely Chelsea. Well,
You might have a manager by then.
just booked our tickets.
Mm-hmm.
We might be. Barney the Dinosaur might be coming out of retirement and might have a job. So
I've heard you might be getting Jonas.
That's will take anybody, but it'll be good to see you. Good to see you in a few weeks.
Yeah, it's been a while, so yeah, we'll catch up. Mel, thank you. Oh, brilliant as always. We'll see you in 2037. Is that right?
Probably. The game playing right now is who retires first, Mel or Kim Little. Probably going to be me. But no, I think it's definitely going to be after Christmas. I actually might be making an appearance at an away game as my first game. I think was it Brighton in February.
Okay. Yeah.
But we will see. I think we've got a few Scottish Cup games coming up, so we'll see how we go on in them. And that could free up a few weekends, hopefully. But
okay, we'll catch up. It'll take so long for us to catch up over stuff. Like we'll miss the game, Mel. That's what it'll be. Like.
Might not be a bad thing with the way
it's going. Yeah. Cool. Paul, catch up with you soon. Thank you as always.
Yeah. Next one for me will be Chelsea. So yeah, look forward to seeing everyone there.
Can't believe none of you are going to Lisbon. What sort of fans are you?
I've been once. I don't need to return.
Yeah. They've still got like a picture up with you, Mel. Like I said, like if you see this woman, let us know.
Banned from every shopping centre, pub, anywhere. There's more pubs in Lisbon now with shirts, with things on their window saying if you don't have a shirt on, you're not going to get served. My bad. You name it.
And Laura, thank you. Brilliant as always. Always thanks for your help and everything. I know you've had a busy couple of weeks and stuff, so I appreciate it.
Yeah, that's all right. It's always a pleasure. And as Jim says, £250 down the drain, and we'll see you at Chelsea.
Yeah. I thought he was going to start. I thought that was a new song then. £250 down the drain.
No, I wasn't going to start singing the Kai Havertz song. It didn't cost 250 quid.
Better
Bargain
than
he
the
would have
Van,
been.
better
I'm
than the Van
hoping it's not
Dunster.
£250 down the drain and we actually show up for it. So, yeah.
Better than the Daphne song. So tipping
What
shots
one?
over the bar. It's quite ironic when she tipped it in the goal against West Ham. They were singing that. So, just but yeah, cool. Thank you to everyone for watching. Obviously, please hit the subscribe button for the Highbury Fans Forever chat channel as well. The Arsenal Women Chat Show and Mr. Arsenal Podcast with Ryan doing awesome, great shows. But yeah, we will catch up with you next week. Everyone take care and have a good week. Good night.
Night.